Hello, I'm back. Took a little bit longer of a hiatus from filming stuff for YouTube than I kind of planned on, but back. Just kind of catch you up to speed. I been recording the past, I guess, couple months now. Pretty much got better from my tonsils and everything enough to play out after like the first month, which was really cool. Didn't think it would be that soon, but here we are. And I got, let's see, I played a show middle of February. It was like the Saturday after Valentine's Day. That was my first one back. That was a lot of fun. And I've played a couple since then. Had a great time. Finished up my first song, which is Waiting. That's going to be out eventually. And I have to figure out a couple things with like the promoter and just get my ducks in a row before I really want to pick a date that I'm going to put it out. It's kind of frustrating because like you have this thing that you spend all this time and energy on, and you just want to just put it out there. But as much as you may want to do that, I'm learning very quickly from a lot of people that have done it multiple times and done it on a much larger scale than I will for hopefully a very long time. You have to kind of methodically go about how you release things. It's not like it used to be. I mean, everything's so different, and I have to be patient, which sucks, and I'm not good at patience, but just gotta wait and get through it, and eventually we'll finally have that song out there, and then eventually in the future I want to record an album, full length album, and that's gonna take a while. I mean that'll probably be till this time next year. I have a lot to learn and a lot to do, and my producer Bob, working with him and getting some good hours in working on the next song, but it's just the process kind of takes a long time, so it'll be a while. But until then, I want to get better at recording stuff in my room, maybe to be able to put out songs that I don't necessarily think should be recorded professionally, but they may be songs, little ditties, or little things that I'm kind of proud of that I just want to put out there. And I want to put out a little EP or album, probably called Songs from My Room. Wow, shocking. But I think it'll be cool. And I think I know enough. I've been learning, and I have a lot to learn still, obviously. But I think I can get it to where I can have them passable and maybe put out some like B-sides or some songs that I will record eventually that maybe just need time. There's all sorts of things. So I'm doing things with that, which is exciting, gives me something to work towards. Because that's kind of important, when you start losing why am I even doing this, then that's when it gets kind of boring or sometimes even painful. But I haven't got there yet, so we're still on good terms with that. But I'm so excited to get that song out because I think it's really cool, and my guy Bob, he's stoked about it. I mean, it was really cool to see how excited he was. I think at times a little more than I was, which is nuts. But I'm gonna keep working on that. Still trying to get gigs around, get some momentum, get my footing. But I've been writing a lot more recently. I've been able to put out a lot more songs, which is really fun because it's always been a struggle for me writing. And I've lately, because I've had so much free time or free mental space, I guess, because I haven't been really devoting it towards like school or working 40 hours a week or whatever. Like I'm able to think more, and it's weird. It's like my mental energy and my brain just has more time and space to be thinking about these other things that probably mean more to me, and it's super helpful in kind of kickstarting the process of writing things that I want to, because I don't have that like weight of other things, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying that all of them or really any of them are any good, but at least there's something flowing, so that there's a better chance of something coming out of it than when you're not writing anything because nothing's coming to you. And I've had a lot of musical inspiration, different melodies, different things that have kind of struck a chord with me, and I've been able to kind of produce something out of that because that kind of lit the fire. I've had events and things happen that have kind of lit that fire, so it's been a really good center of just all these things coming together and just being able to write things, and it's a lot of fun. So the purpose of this video and everything is I was going to just kind of update, just put something out there, because I really hate it when I'm not doing something towards my goal, creating. I gotta hit every facet. I mean, it's really overwhelming, honestly. I know it sounds silly, but the social media and everything, there's so many different things you gotta do, so many different things you have to think about and make sure you're doing right. And I don't know, I don't want to get caught up in all that and try and be this person that people kind of want you to be. I just kind of want to be me. And if you guys like that, awesome. If not, this will be cool to look back on in 20 years or whatever, when who knows what happens, and I'll be like, oh, that was cool. But that being said, I'm going to play you a song that I wrote last week at some point, and this is called One Text Away. It actually, the melody I kind of got off of a song I play in my grandpa's church praise team with him, and it's a really fun time we get to spend together. I love it. I always look forward to it. It's one of my favorite things to do. It makes me feel good about using my ability and my time and everything towards something good. It's not all selfish about trying to build my success or make money or whatever. It's just about being there with my grandpa, being there for God. It's a great thing, and I love it. Very happy that I decided to do that. But we played a song a couple weeks ago that had more of like a funky tune to it. It was like, and I love that. I never thought of different melodic structures like that, because I just kind of like think of genres, and so like you think of like the kind of like how Waiting is, where it's like the beach rock, where it's like you get that kind of like a that kind of reggae thing, which is really neat. Or you think of like the other song I wrote, Busy Doing Nothing, which is the one I'm recording now. It's got more of like a, I don't want to say John Mayer, because I could never in a million years compose anything like him, but it's got a little bit of a, it's a little groovy. It's kind of coffee shop music, and I kind of like it. But different structures like that, and so I like this one because it was kind of like funky, which is really funny to say about a church song, but I liked it, and so I kind of took it and made it my own and turned it into a song, because I just started playing in a key that I could sing in, that same kind of structure, and then I just developed it. That's kind of what I do. I like tear things apart that I really like, and then make them into something that either, and this sounds very arrogant, but either the way that I feel like they should be, like the way in my head that makes the most sense, or into the way that I want them to be. And you can do that. And eventually, throughout that process, it strays away from sounding like a copy or like basically a cover, to where it sounds like your influence. And that it's so cool. I love doing that to songs, because it just, I don't know, it's fun. It's cool to take these things that already exist and make them into your own. And it's fun to think of ideas that don't exist yet and totally fabricate something. That's killer, but that's not all the time. So a lot of inspiration goes into things. And so this one, after all that rambling, is called One Text Away, and it's based very loosely off of a church tune that I played, and it's a little funky. So it goes something like this. Sitting all alone one fateful night, hoping everything I say will be just right. I drew it up and typed out every word, and now it just seems so absurd, 'cause who So that's that one. Um, that's a fun one. That's it's just a little jammy. You know, it's a little different than obviously it's very different than the church song because I think that was called Our Savior and King or something, and I just yeah, total polar opposite. But it's a lot of fun, and that one's kind of fun to just jam out with. And I kind of it's not super duper hard for me to sing. Like a lot of my songs I write are actually really difficult for me to sing, and this one's kind of a little more free flowing, and it has some room for air and like a kind of like a not Dave Matthews, but like it's okay if your voice cracks. There's a couple spots where you can kind of let it just flail and it works. So I started playing it at the beginning of my gigs because it's kind of like a warm up song for me. I have that and another song called "Take Me Back" that it's kind of just a. That's not one of my favorites that I wrote, but it is what it is. And so I like to play those two at the beginning now, and it kind of warms me up a little bit in the lower end. I don't know what I'm talking about with my voice. I'm trying to get in contact with somebody that does, but until then, I just kind of figure it out as I go. So that's kind of where I'm at. Got the usual overwhelming, paralyzing fear of what if I fail, but it's getting better here and there. I'm getting a lot more confidence with myself, which is awesome because I need it. And I'm making sure I don't cross that line between confidence and arrogance. And I have a lot of people in my life that if I do ever start to wander that way, they will definitely tell me very quickly. So I'm very grateful for that. But just trying to plug away. It's hard. It's a very difficult thing to do right now, but trying to stay true to myself and do what makes me happy and do it for the right reasons and hopefully create something I can be proud of and some kind of a life that I can be okay looking back on and say I'm cool with that. And we'll see how that turns out, but some lofty goals definitely. I'll give myself that. I shoot high, but thank you for coming along. Thank you for watching. I'll upload something else eventually. Try and do it a little more often. Just some not vloggy type stuff because I tried that once. Wasn't a super big fan of it, but maybe just more of like a virtual. That's a redundant statement. More of like a podcast with a visual because I don't know. I don't do a lot of crazy stuff yet, but I can talk for a long time, as you can see, and I will. I'll have some fun with that and talk through some songs I wrote and stuff like that. But till then, thank you, and I will see you guys eventually. So have a good rest of your day.